Hello, 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 hello. Incredible greetings. Incredible greetings, everyone. It's Wednesday and 3:05 day. So glad that my day to go live ends on, 3:05 day for the folk in Miami, March 5th. Yes, 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 yes. So hello, 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 everyone. Incredible greetings and welcome to the live broadcast with the professor. All right, so we're going to get this all shared out. So hopefully I sat here like this long enough to where the screenshot for this is not going to look crazy. But my eyebrows keep raising. So it might end up looking crazy, but it's okay. If you're watching the playback of this, thank you so much for joining. This is, as you can see from the title, a live broadcast. Therefore, we don't get straight into this. All right. I have to check my make sure that it actually went out. I got notifications. I have to change my audience over on Facebook because it always comes in as only me, and I have to make it where it's public. And then of course we want to give folk time to get in the room. Alrighty. So if you're watching the playback of this, you might be able to fast forward a little bit to get to the good stuff. Okay, to get to the good stuff. Alrighty. So we did that. All right, so I had to adjust a post. All right, so let's go share now, share to my group. And of course not. It caught me looking down. So let's see the next time that I share this, if it can catch me sharing like in a position where I'm looking up. So I'm going to sit here for a little minute before I just go over to to go share it again, because I need it to catch the frames and stuff like that so that it doesn't share with me looking down. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing this morning? All right, so let's see. How was it going? Nope, it still caught me looking down. It's okay. It hasn't reset itself, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Let's refresh the entire page. Let's see if that will change how it shares out. I doubt it, but we'll see. Yeah, it reset, all right. It caught me like this. Okay, so whoever, whatever. These things are deleted after 30 days anyway, so it's not like it'll live forever. We used to always say content lives forever. However, if you did not know, I posted this a while ago because I'm in a Facebook group for Meta leaders. I forget what the heck the group is called. And they announced that live videos will be deleted after 30 days over on Facebook. So yeah, I'm not worried about it looking crazy because in 30 days it won't exist. Like if you want, you can of course download your content and then re-upload it, but if it's in their system as a live, I guess your videos are on a different server than the live ones. I guess they don't have enough room for the live ones and whatnot. So yeah, they are deleting live videos after 30 days. Why are we blurry? There we go. All right. Oh, wait. Let me do one more. Okay. There we go. All shared out. So, hello. Incredible greetings, incredible morning. Welcome in. Good morning from very windy here in North Carolina, North Kakalaki. All right, as you guys come in, drop a hey, how you doing? Let me know where you are watching from. Let me know what you do in the creative space. And we're just going to get started. So this one is going to, okay. So For those who are in my Creative Business Accelerator program, which you can join as well, I'll give you more information about that. You guys are now about to be a part of, I don't want to sort of call it a social experiment, but it is going to be a teaching aid for my students next week. We're going to talk about it today because we have a session tonight. We have another meet and greet, like for any new students that kind of enroll, so that you guys can, get acclimated with the program. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. So we're going to have that session, but this is going to really come up in a session. Actually, I don't know if it's going to come up in the intensive. It's for the week after that, but this is going to come up. So you guys are going to be a part of, for lack of better words, a social experiment, but this is it's a learning aid for those who are in my creative business program. So it's going to be, let me reintroduce myself. My name is, okay. And so we're just going to talk about who I am as a creative professor and how I am able to help you. And then those who are in my Creative Business Accelerator program, it's going to make sense. So, but you guys will get something out of this as well. And although I typically don't really do like the Q&As, you will be able to pick my brain a little bit. So it's like I need for you guys to ask questions because of how I'm going to like show this to my creative business students. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay. So no, I see a couple of hellos. I don't see, I only see one. Where are you joining us from? So y'all got the hey, how you doing part? Check. Make sure that you guys have liked this video. If you are watching over on YouTube, you do have to click out of the live chat. So you have to exit out and then go over to like the main part to give the video a like, and also make sure that you are subscribed. So you want to go ahead and do that. If you're over on Facebook, give the video a like, tag a friend, hit share. Digital currency is amazing. Okay. So make sure you guys do that. But most importantly, I need for you guys to engage in the chat. If you guys don't know, comments and engaging in comments is one of the biggest algorithm booster on social media, right? So that just lets the system know, hey, this is content that people want to watch, they want to engage with. So simply being on, the views count, right? But the engagement part. So when we look at our analytics and Facebook calls it like insights. So when you're looking at that, it's like how long did someone stay on? What's the engagement? So the engagement is a like, a comment, a share, but comments go a long way, which is why I asked you guys, where are you guys watching from? What do you do in the creative space? So I need for you guys to answer those questions, and you're going to want that in return. If you are someone that is using social media, you are going to need people to interact. It's probably my Amazon order. You are going to need people to interact with your content. Right now, everybody and their mama, well, a good majority of the creative and craft community is promoting all of their grad stuff. So in order for even just the people in your local area to be able to see that post, you need engagement on it. One, you need to not post it just one time. So if you created a flyer, like a digital flyer in Canva, Affinity, Photoshop, Illustrator, Silhouette Studio, Microsoft Word, wherever, or if you outsourced it, wherever you got that digital flyer created at, you want to make sure that you are posting that multiple times. Like you don't just want to use it once. You don't have to create new content. And if you don't know, post art is content. Content is not just about the video part, just the post that you make, any type of visual. So even images, that is content. So you need to post that content more, like a bunch of times. Post it as a post, post in your stories, post on your business pages, and your business pages story. Just make sure that you're posting, and you want to try and get that engagement. You want to be able to put that post out multiple times so that you can look at your insights and see when it got the most engagement. So if you are somebody that's looking to use social media, I need you to engage with me the same way that you want somebody to engage with you. You have to give in order to get, okay? So if I can get you guys to let me know where you are watching from, and also what is it that you do in the creative space? I want to know who's here. Who am I helping? How can I help you? Are you even on the right channel? Like, how did you come across this? You might, if you're looking to, like, your creative thing is like crocheting, you're on the wrong channel. I don't crochet at all. I don't sew. I like embroidery. I've talked about, I don't know why my camera has been doing this lately where it's just going out of focus so much. I do not understand why is it keep going out of focus. But I just want to know what is it that you guys do in the creative space so I can make sure that you're in the right place, okay? All right. Now, it's too many of you guys. I'd rather you leave. I know you guys, okay, if you're at work, you can at least say hello. If you were able to click on the video, that means you're able to watch it. That means you're able to look down. You should be able to click on the chat and at least type in 2 letters. H-I, hi, 3 letters. H-E-Y, hey, like H-E-L-L-O. You should be able to at least write that. I should see a comment from all the people. Either that or I need to see my numbers drop. I rather have 2 people on who are going to engage with me, and that's going to be more of an algorithm booster than to have 50 of you guys on here and you're saying absolutely nothing. So I should either see comments coming in or I should see my numbers dropping, because if you're not going to help me, then how do you expect your social media to grow as well? You're going to, we're going to want reciprocation. You're going to want people to do the same for you. So I should either see more comments or I should see my viewers dropping, because you need to go toodles. All right. Okay, so there we go. All right, so my Cameo isn't cutting, my print and cut. I haven't used it in a while and it's dusty. Can that be an issue? No, not really. I haven't used mine. It'll still kind of go. I need you to post in either the Silhouette group, the student union, because you are one of our students. You can post in the student union, you can post in Sewaholics Anonymous group, or you can post in the Honestly Speaking group. I need more information. I need to see what it's doing, what it's not doing. This is why I'm always telling you guys to record, so that you have something to show someone to be able to help you, because it can be like an infinite number of things that could be going wrong. It might just be your blade might not be seated properly, so it's not going all the way down. So if it's just like simply not cutting, is it not registering? Is it not just cutting deep enough? Like, there could be a number of things. So I definitely would need a lot more information and preferably visuals to be able to help you and get you going in the right direction. Okay. So hello from North Florida, Charlotte, North Carolina. Hello, Atlanta area, brand new Silhouette owner. Hey, Terry, which Silhouette did you get? Did you get one of the old school ones, like from a marketplace, like 1, 2, or 3? Did you go into any of the stores? Because I know like our Walmarts still have the Cameo 4. They don't have the Cameo 5s in our Walmarts. They still have a bunch of Cameo 4s. So did you get a 4? Did you get a 5? Did you get a 12-inch? Did you get a plus? Hopefully you did not get a 24-inch. We don't recommend the 24-inch Cameo. Uh-oh, wait a minute now. I'm trying to put you on Do Not Disturb. And it's doing all kind of craziness. So yeah, hopefully you did not get a 24-inch and you got either a 12 or a 15-inch. Hello from Colorado. Hello, hello, hello. Incredible greetings. Hey, make sure, have you checked your emails yet? Because we didn't see you. So make sure that you're checking your emails, or just go to your dashboard. But try checking your emails first. Look in your spam folders, because you should have gotten an email. Incredible morning. I'm from M-I, quick letter I, humpback I. Looking to learn how to design. Wanda, which design program are you currently working in, or would you like to learn to design in? Hello, hello, Vanessa. How are you? Will do. I just got some new mats coming today. I will record. I hate my 24-inch. I don't even use it. I wish you would have found me first. I would have advised you against getting that thing. Hello, hello, hello. I'm a creator of t-shirts, tumblers, etc. Well, welcome, Sandra. How are you? All right. So I asked you guys to introduce yourselves to me. I brought the 4 Plus from Amazon. Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm not sure if you know, but we do have, so the machine is one thing, the program is something different. So when I'm teaching about them, I teach them technically separate or different because anybody can use the design software. You don't have to own a Silhouette machine at all. You don't need a Cameo 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. You do not need a Portrait 1, 2, 3, 4. You do not need a Curio 1, 2. You do not need an Alpha. You do not need a Mint. You don't need any of those in order to use this Silhouette Studio software. It is absolutely free, 99 for anyone who wants to get into like designing. It is what's called a vector-based program. Now, like as far as creating, so anything that you are creating from scratch is going to involve solid shapes, letters, numbers, things that you can fill in with color. So if you're just, like I said, creating anything from scratch, it's what's called vector. Now, you can plug and play and design and layer and bring in PNGs. You can bring in JPEGs. You can bring in PDFs if you have the upgraded versions, and you will be able to arrange these things and put them all together. So this right here, this design, all done, like arranged in Silhouette Studio. So now I did get a little help from outside programs. So the background part of this, my hands ashy. Yes, they are. Okay, I'm having to run to get some lotion. I don't think my lotion, I took it out of here. So the background part of this, so you can see that right there. You can see that part that says graduate. Now that was done in Photoshop so that I could do different blend modes. I'm able to change the color and things of that nature. So that part is a little assist, okay? Little alley-oop from, what I just said? Photoshop. All right, so like even down to this part, like that part is a part of the Photoshop one. So all of that is, right? Now, the lines are just rectangles that are at an angle. That was able to be created in Silhouette Studio, arranged in Silhouette Studio. Now, the glitter, of course, we cannot make the actual glitter pattern in Silhouette Studio. So some lovely artists created that glitter pattern, probably in like either Photoshop or Illustrator, where they're just really putting all of these like different little shapes and things of different colors. So someone created that glitter because it's a digital glitter. It's not like a picture of like a glitter piece of cardstock. It's a digital glitter. So some very talented person did that. I don't have that kind of patience, okay, to create my own glitter pattern. But I'm able to go and purchase or download a glitter pattern and then use it in the design. So I'm able to bring that JPEG into Silhouette Studio. And once I bring it into Silhouette Studio, I'm able to crop it to letters. I'm able to crop it to shape. So that's that, like the little border right there. So all of the solid colors, the teal and was that a dark? Yes, like a darker green, darker teal. Those are just shapes. And then of course the glitter. So I'm able to crop that to it. Things like the shadows, we're able to, can you see the shadow on the class of? You're able to create things like that in Silhouette Studio. You're able to put the outline in Silhouette Studio. Silhouette Studio allows you to bring in the picture. Now, Silhouette Studio does not have a background remover. It doesn't have a background remover. You have to either use an outside one. I use and I pay for Remove BG. Some people they have the pro version of Canva. Canva brought out Remove BG from paddle.com. So now that background remover feature is in Canva, but it's a little bit different. Like in Canva, it removes way too much stuff, which is why I personally could never 1000% rely on Canva because it does remove way too much stuff. It removes unnecessary whites and things. And you have to go back in and brush it back in. But they did kind of acquire that technology from them. But I still pay for Remove BG. So Remove BG will allow me to remove the background that was there, save it as a PNG with a transparent background. I bring that in, I do a trace and detach, and then I'm able to have all of these pictures on here. I'm able to bring in a JPEG or PNG of the school logo. These light flares are created in Photoshop. And once I have that um as a PNG, I'm able to bring, actually, no, this is the one that I created, to be honest. So how I created my own light flares, I make thin rhombuses. Y'all know Azani is also in shapes right now. So Diamond, I was also teaching, was called a rhombus. So I made them, and it's like really, really thin. It's why you take the transparency down. And then the middle part is a brush stroke, like basically a circle brush stroke that I created in Photoshop. So again, another assist from Photoshop, because things like this, where the color fades off of the edges, you cannot create that in Silhouette Studio. You cannot create that in Photoshop. Not Photoshop. You cannot create that in Canva. Well, now that Canva has the blend modes, you can probably, create it from like a regular circle. I'll have to see. I'll test out that theory, like, because it kind of fades it in, because they now have like a blend image. Now, Canva has a bunch of those like round, soft edges brush strokes, but you cannot create them in Canva. You will need a bitmap type program like Photoshop or Affinity Photo or PixArt, things of that nature. I also have a PixArt. I have a bunch of design accounts. Like I anything that's like designing, I spend a lot of money on subscriptions for different design ones, because it just allows you to do different things. So that is an assist from Photoshop. And then the text, of course, we put in there in Silhouette Studio. Now her name is all done. Like it has like some, so it doesn't look flat, like there's some lift to it. That lift and that technique, all done in Silhouette Studio. And that technique for that can be done in the free version of Silhouette Studio. So this one tumbler is like an example of what you are able to create in Silhouette Studio, utilizing its natural features of shapes and being able to subtract and bring in images. And then we're just like arranging and being able to crop without needing frames. So that is this, okay? All right, so someone says, what did I use to press this? I use an oven, a regular household oven, not convection. Now, this particular one was done in my Oster convection oven, which is why the top part kind of ghosted a little bit, because we use that on a regular basis, and the kids have pulled on that so much that it doesn't have a good, it doesn't close very well. And so I just think the heat is kind of off in there. So for some reason this happened, but normally I put them in a regular oven. I don't use a tumbler press. It's very rare that I'm doing like onesies and twosies. I like to do multiples, and I will wrap them all. I can put up to 15, 18 tumblers in our oven at one time. Like if I just use the bottom rack, yeah, I can do like 15 to 18, like just standing up, putting on the bottom rack. So I rather do mine that way. Okay, so what was I saying? But yeah, but anyone can use Silhouette Studio. Now, when I was saying, I said all that to say I have an amazing program called Essentials of Silhouette Studio. I think the code 30live is still valid to get 50% off. If it's not, just send us a message on the website and ask us if we have an updated code for it. Don't pay full price for Essentials of Silhouette Studio. Just go ahead, utilize the chat to see if 30live does not work. Just send us a message in the chat, and we'll be able to shoot you over a new code to be able to use to get 50% off of Essentials of Silhouette Studio. We do take Sezzle, or you can do Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm over on the Academy site. So you have more than one option to do buy now, pay later, BNPL. And then we teach the machine part of it, like how to adjust your blade, how to load your mat, like knowing the different settings and things of that nature, how to set up your mat, like on the computer, all those different things. We teach that in our Silhouette Cameo First Cuts class. So there's two different ones to learn the program and the machine, because there's so much that you can do with the program. The machine part, pretty self-explanatory as far as just learning the machine. And so a lot of people will like, oh, I can't figure out I brought this Cameo, it just sits there, I can't figure it out. Well, they haven't tried to figure out the machine. They were trying to figure out the program. And you can learn how the machine cuts because you can just bring in an SVG. You can type out your name. The other day in the Creative Lounge, someone had a question about like vinyl. Like I was able to do this up real quick, and that's really, really small. And then we put it like in the middle here. So something like that, being able just to type it out so that you can put vinyl on things. That's something that's really, really easy to do. It's what I recommend when you first get the machine. Don't go like all out. Don't get the machine to create like this. That's the wrong reason to get the machine. You want to get the machine if you want to do print and cuts, if you want to cut vinyl, you want to cut HTV, but do not get the machine if you're going to simply do sublimation or set up DTF prints, things of that nature, okay? So check out those classes over on shop.hsync365.com. I didn't introduce myself, but I'm going to do it because that's like the whole purpose of this one. So I'm going to answer. I see a few questions. You guys are really engaging. So I'm going to answer these questions because, technically Q&A was finito, but I'm going to answer these because it's 305 day. And then I'm going to go into my intro about who I am and how I can help you. Okay. So what's wrong with the 24-inch? Everything. I have plenty of videos on that. So you either take my word or don't, but just know from my experience, everything is wrong with it. I don't want to really go into it and like badmouth it, but everything is wrong with it. Hey, professor in chat, babysitting very itchy and irritated grandbaby. Oh, feel better. I use Cricut and I'm learning Silhouette Studio. Okay. I follow you on Facebook. The wrong place. Follow me on YouTube. Oh, well, you are on YouTube. Okay, cool beans. I mean, it's up there too. Join the group, but my Facebook now is just kind of really just promoting the business. Hey, this is the class I have coming up. We have a closeout sale going on for our summation paper and ink, 52% off. All you have to do is just put in your cart, go and check out. The 52% is there. We're trying to reduce our inventory by 75%. And then we're going to take it it's going to be exclusive access only. So I'm pretty much using my Facebook to talk crap about the stuff that's going on in the world and also promote the business. I'm making it more social now. My YouTube is where we get a little bit more serious, and my classes, okay? Canva Pro and brand new, okay? I have Silhouette Studio, but have not worked with it yet. Brand new to it. I did upgrade to business, but that's all I've done. I'm telling you, if you're not using any other programs, you got to get in there. And our essentials definitely will walk you through that. I'm trying to learn the Silhouette Studio software, but I'm not creative or color coordinated. This makes it hard to create designs. So, okay, here is where you guys mess up at, right? You have to learn the program first. My entire teaching framework is based on understanding the essentials. Designing and to what you said, being able to color coordinate and being able to design, that is not innate to a lot of people, right? You don't have to really know how to do that. Like designs are not based off of color coordinating. You can go and create something and it looks absolutely crazy color-wise together. In order to make it easier when it comes to designing, you have to learn the foundations. Learn what does subtract do. If part A is to the back and part B is in the front and you subtract, what happens? If part B is to the back and part A is to the front and you subtract, what happens? So that's gonna, because subtract is the one that matters. If you have, so it can be part A and then it can be part B and part C, right? So we put this here, or we'll put it like this. If we hit subtract, what happens? If we go here, what happens? If we hit subtract all, like that is what learning the program is. What is it that these tools and functions do at the core level? Because if you don't understand that, how can you then design? How are you going to know that to get this inside those letters, you have to crop? How do you know if you want it to look like one piece versus each one looking like it has its own like that glitter in it, that you have to make it a compound path, like, make it a compound path? How will you know these things? How will you know how to space letters? Using your character spacing or using alignment to fit, how would you know any of these things? So before you can get to designing, you need to understand the program, which is what Essentials is about. Essentials is not necessarily a design class. It is meant to teach you the program and what the basic functions are. Now, towards the end of it, we go into some design, and I'm showing, okay, how we bring all of these tools and functions together, but it's meant to teach you the software first. And we had a bunch of other classes for design. We have classes for memorial, classes for graduation, like a full master's program for graduation. We have some that's just for stalls, just for fans. We've had party favor ones where we teach you banners, chip bags, water bottle labels, Capri Suns, centerpieces. What else did we do? Cup wraps, buttons. Man, I've have so many classes for the actual like design part and doing the thing, but my essentials for designing is always teaching you the essentials. Our Photoshop one, we go through some designing, but like that designing is really to show you this is what this tool does at its core. You would use this if you need to do like X, Y, and Z. So I show it that way first, and then we get into some actual like designing. So like in Photoshop, if we want to go to the layer style, and we are adding a pattern, we want to put a pattern. Well, they give you preloaded patterns. How do you get new patterns in there? Our Essentials breaks that down. You have to, guys, I'm telling you, you have to understand the essentials of any design program. Our Essentials of Canva. We teach the basics, the foundational parts. What I also do is with every single program that I teach, I hyper focus on what that program cannot do. Reason for that is I don't want you to waste a bunch of time on tasks that are impossible. One, it's going to mess with your confidence because we see these things in the groups and we're like, okay, well, all programs have to be the same. I should be able to create this in the program that I'm using, and it's not going to happen, Captain. So I hyper focus on teaching you or outlining the things that you cannot do in each program so that you don't waste time. All right. So if you have not taken any of our classes, if you want to just test out how I teach, on our website, we have some design challenges from 2023. Okay. It's like 7 of them. Enroll in those. You'll get to see my teaching style, how I teach, and decide from that if you want to invest in something that's going to cost you a little bit more money. But we do try and keep our affordable, our classes affordable. But you have to. You cannot go into it just trying to create designs. And then you want to start small. This right here, if you are a beginner, is definitely not something we should be trying to tackle. We should definitely be starting smaller and building our way up. So like, even if I were to take these, like this pencil is created from scratch, right? So even the peaks on this part. So I showed the students how to create those peaks and make them even, how to add the glitter to each part, to make the line here, like the pencil, like the little metal part. So all of this was taught in a class, right? So this is something let me see. With this, you would learn how to make shapes, how to resize shapes, how to bring in images, how to crop images, backgrounds, patterns, same thing, to shapes. You also learn to use the knife tool and duplicating. So you also will learn duplicating. And yeah, so those are all the things. Just to make this, you need to have an understanding of all of those things, right? So you can start here. Like we can't feel like because we're not able to do this, we don't take pride in being able to create something like this ourselves from scratch. This is an accomplishment. This is a win. If you were able to create this and be able to make your own template for a tumbler and be able to make it look like a pencil, this is an accomplishment. This is a win. We can't go and like, this is too simple. I want to do this. And you don't feel like you've arrived until you can do this. So this is a great starting point, right? So we taught a class on how to do something as simple as this and understand all of those tools and functions. Now, once you go and you do this, you can add on to it to now have it like this, bringing in an image, being able to remove, to trace and detach, putting a shadow on that image because that image did not come with the shadow, adding your name, doing different colors, turning it sideways, bringing in a logo, again, more shadows on it. And then the teach part was created from scratch, where we have several offsets. They're filled in with color. It's filled in with glitter. There's some shadow on it, being able to place it, things of that nature. So we start here, we build to this, and I can even go past the way that this looks. But you have to be willing to start learning the program and then start learning the basics. That is my framework for teaching. You've got to be willing to learn the basics. I promise you, you'll get here. And if you stick with it and you continue to study and just look at designs and you don't try and design for an order, but you sit down at the computer and you design to be able to learn and perfect and get better at techniques, it'll be here. Okay? Let's see. Yes, I do the same amount of time. My tumblers are in the oven for 4 to 5 minutes. Yeah, for the most part. Yes, all of my classes, you have unlimited access, lifetime access to the playbacks of all the classes. Incredible greetings. Welcome, welcome. Love your ink and paper. Thank you so much. It says, hello again. Do you have classes on making cards? I had to make one for my first lady and didn't know what I was doing, but I got the basics done. So when you say card, what type of cards are you trying to make? So kind of give me that, like, is it just like a postcard? Like, is it a folding card? What happened with it? But I still want to know the answers to that. But we did do a Valentine's Day card class. So it doesn't matter that the theme was Valentine's Day. A card is a card is a card is a card. So if you're wanting to learn how to make, now it's not about designing, right? It's about how to properly put it together, how to get it to print double-sided, things of that nature. Designing is a totally different thing. So we have to be careful when we're saying that. So even if someone goes in and they might teach you how to create a design in a card class, but if that's not the style that you want, you still then have to take a class for designing to learn how to design so that you can then, make, arrange the card how you want it to look. We do have a class on how to set up yours, how to size how to size what we call a spread. So when you're looking at a card and you're looking at it side by side, that's called a spread. So you can design the page and then you can go and put it in the spread. Then we taught how to properly flip it and arrange it so that when you print it, it is it's lined up correctly. Okay. So that would be the on our website. You're going to see a bunch of hearts, and it is the Valentine's Day, or it just says like greeting card and candygram. That's a class that you want to take to learn how to do cards. Now, I don't do all the ones where you're like adding shakers and pop dotting stuff. Once you understand how to make the card, you're able to do that. So my class is if you're trying to make it and then print it. If you are someone that wants to add embellishments and things to it, that's not necessarily for that. I am not the one that's ever going to tell you to use the little pen with the cameo and put it there and have it right for you. That is the silliest thing. That is the most wasteful. That is a waste of time. to have it go and draw, because one, it's like unless you are doing something that is truly a line font, having your machine do that and is kind of pointless. I guess unless you're using like it's like color card stock and you want like that silver pen or like gold pen, maybe with that. But just for it to be white and just kind of, you might as well just print that thing out. Like it takes too long too. I have both Canva and Silhouette Studio. Thank you. Great information on essentials, because not knowing makes things harder to understand. Again, thank you. And like I said, we do have a 50% off coupon. I like to learn how to do the 3D scenes. Is that a class? 3D scenes for what though? I have no idea what you're referring to. You could be referring to a shadow box. You can be referring to something for like, I don't know why people call them 3D shirts for all over shirts. I have no idea. Some people will call it 3D if you are making, like the letters and stuff where you are like boxes, like customized boxes and things of that nature. Like those are called 3D. Some people call it's gonna come to me, the cake toppers, like 3D toppers. Got to be more specific. It was her 10-year church anniversary, and I want to do birthday cards as well. So is it that you're struggling with the design part or how to actually size and arrange the card? Because if you're struggling with design, then it's not a card making class that you need. It's a design class that you need. Okay, so a shadow box. I'm not really a paper person like that. That's really doing those. I mean, because that takes a lot of patience. Designing them from scratch. Hopefully, you're someone that's also maybe thinking about selling digital products, because to go and put in that time and effort. Now, I have done one. I forget which class it was. I want to say we did that in one of our like master's program classes like a couple years ago, where I kind of basically showed it. But when you're doing the detailed ones, it takes a lot of like forward thinking, and you really, really have to understand the program to know like which parts you have to subtract and crop and all of those. So that is not something that I necessarily teach, because it requires a lot of patience. It's very, very tedious for the shadow boxes where it has all those different layers. So yeah, so that's something that's different. So asking about designing. So designing, we have a bunch of classes where you're going to learn techniques like composition, layout, spacing, typography. That's meaning like which fonts do you choose, color coordination, like someone said, right? These are things that you learn in design classes. If you want some like how to handle if the image you have is like cut off. What are some techniques that you can use to not have that just look like it's sitting in the middle of a card? That is different. Once you learn to design, you can apply it to anything. So true, as instructors, you have marketing wise, it is best to say, hey, if you're interested in making cards, come join this class. And we're going to show you in one class. All someone might be able to do is show you maybe one design, kind of keep it real simple, whatever. And then they'll probably go into how to make the card. But those things can take time. One class, if you know how to design and now I need to just apply this design to cards, it makes that class 1,000 times better, because you can focus on taking your design skills, applying it to cards, and being able to make it. So now you're bridging one skill that you know and adding a new skill to it in card making. But when you're not quite familiar with any of it, it's really, really hard. When you take a design class, it doesn't matter if you're designing for a tumbler, a button, cards, chip bags, a banner, a backdrop, a yard sign. It doesn't matter what you are designing for. What that class will do, like when I'm teaching about like buttons or yard signs, what I focus on is, hey, this is how you determine the size of this, because it needs to be sized properly. There is no such thing as a one size fit all design. Everything is proportionately different. A lot of crafters, you're coming into this, you guys are used to maybe getting files, getting templates. Templates can be great for time savers. But if you rely on templates a lot, it will handicap you because you're not going to understand when it's time for you to do it yourself. You're going to feel like, oh my God, why can't I figure this out? Like you're just going to keep buying templates, because you're not taking the time to learn. So a lot of crafters come from the world of, oh, I'm going to get this, I'm going to buy this SVG, I'm going to download this one. Like, Cricut has a bunch in their library. Silhouette had a bunch of free stuff in theirs. I'm going to use these SVGs. I'm going to go search online. I want to find a free SVG, a free PNG. So we're just bringing these things in. Hey, does somebody have a template for a Tumblr? But what if that doesn't fit your Tumblr? Now you got a template, but no one has ever shown you how to take that template and make it fit your Tumblr, how to properly measure your Tumblr to even know, because all Tumblrs are not created equal. This is why it's important to understand design and be in classes continuously. There's no one that's going to be able to do one class and you're just going to be equipped. You have to keep on educating yourself, practicing. So a lot of my classes, like for making things, especially if it's a one-day class, unless you want to spend 8 hours with me online, I can't dedicate a whole lot of time to, okay, let's create this design, and also giving you time to, okay, well, you guys click, you do this, you do that, whatever, like for a full-on design. We will be there forever. And then if I do it multiple days, I got to charge you more, because now, like if I were to do a card class on a Monday, I could, and it was a $40 class. I can do another class on Tuesday for a different subject and charge $40, right? So for those 2 days, I'm able to make $80. But if I now have to teach you for 2 days, even if it's like, let's say if it's a 4-hour class, if I taught you 2 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Tuesday, you still want to spend that $40, but then I'm only getting $40 for 2 days. Or I can teach you for 4 straight hours on Monday. I can teach somebody else or another class for 4 straight hours on Tuesday. And I'm able to, for each person make $40. So it's harder to do those classes like where it's like that becomes a program at that point. And then you have to pay more in order to get more classes. But if you join things like our Creative Lounge, this is if you struggle with designing. Now, I do recommend our Essential Silhouette Studio, because that's going to teach you the program. If you want to learn Photoshop, take Essentials to Photoshop. You want to learn Canva, take Essentials to Canva. But then when you join the Creative Lounge, Monday, we just had what we call the Pro Call, Fix My Design. So I do these things called Pro Calls. They are professor calls, because that's what I'm known as, right? Shakia the professor. And so the Pro Calls are basically question and answer. And it's me answering it in real time. You're able to unmute, communicate with me. So it's not this, okay, I got to wait, I'm talking, I got to go back, find your question, and now it's out of order. So in those, you're able to like ask the questions, like call and response. All right, cool. We can either share your screen, I'll show you on yours, or I'll demonstrate it on mine. So then I can kind of show like quick things, because we have to give time for other people, so I can kind of lead you in the right direction. But the design classes, taking any of those classes and actually watching them, guys. I know it's so many of you who have classes, not just from me, from other people. You brought it, oh, that's a really cool idea, and you don't take the time to watch it or at least listen to it. If you're serious about what it is that you want to do, even if you can't sit in front of the computer to like practice it, stop watching so many of these YouTube videos, right? You've paid for classes. It drives me nuts when someone says, oh, I haven't watched it, I haven't had the time. But I guarantee if I go into your history for YouTube videos, you have sat and watched somebody's YouTube video. You have sat and watched my live video. You have done a whole lot of, but you have not gone into whoever's dashboard or watched the downloaded video they sent you for that class that you paid for. If you are cleaning up when you're washing dishes, bring your phone in. Our classes, you can watch it from your phone, get you some earbuds so that you tune out everybody in your house. At least listen to it. And what happens is if you go and at least listen to when you get ready to sit down and rewatch and do it, all of that information is not brand spanking new to you. All right. So my recommendation is, if you want to learn and you pay for classes, stop watching all this other stuff or minimize it and start listening to your classes. At least listen to them, guys. All right. Let's see. She says Creative Lounge is the place to be. Can I use Silhouette Studio to help design? Not help. You can design a full-on obituary in Silhouette Studio. Now, so when it comes to help, so I'll show you where help comes. I outlined this one and the template of it in Silhouette Studio first. So my initial outline of this, I set it up, not this part, because these are just like pictures, although I have done the full collage. But I initially did the setup, the outline, where things are, like how I wanted things to be, because it's easier like for me to arrange it. But this, to have all of the different blend modes and stuff, this is done in Photoshop. To be able to fade this off, the final product is done in Photoshop. This entire thing was done in Silhouette Studio. There was no real like program to this, so it was just a lot of pictures and messages. But this entire thing was designed and set up in Silhouette Studio. This one, fully designed and set up in Silhouette Studio. So it doesn't help you. You can do it in Silhouette Studio. The fan for that obituary, Silhouette Studio. Let's see here. The layout for this one, Silhouette Studio. It was completed in Photoshop because this is too much graphics. So something like this, Silhouette Studio would not be able to handle because it's too much graphics and too much writing. But as far as like the layout of it, it started in Silhouette Studio. Same thing with this one. This one. Now, this one I probably could have the whole thing, but I would probably just individual page in a separate page, like a separate one in Silhouette Studio. But these are normally two head. Like if you're gonna kind of do, even this is a lot for Silhouette Studio because of the amount of text to this. This can be a lot for Silhouette Studio as well. So I end up having to convert to path a lot of the text. This one was like, this is pretty simple. It's like it's pictures and stuff, but it wasn't like too heavy on text. So, and that's the ones that were in this. I would have to go find the other sleeve for some of the other ones that I've done. And then some of them I don't have printed out. I need to actually have my printer because I normally just design for people. I don't always print and I just send it off, but I probably need to have my printer print out a few of the ones I designed just so I can have I can have examples of them. But it doesn't have to help you. You can fully design them in Silhouette Studio. Okay. All right. So I now need this part. I did all of that. We've been on for an hour. I'm mad at myself right now because it's going to take it longer for this to process. But I was being nice. I answered questions today. But I have to do something here. It's just going to suck because now it's going to take a lot longer and I don't want to start this video over. So this is the part where what I really came on here for is how the creative professor can help you. So this is where I'm going to introduce myself. If you don't know who I am, if you don't, okay, who here is fairly new and you've never seen a video of my background? Like you've never heard the full, like my background story. So who here is fairly newer to my platform and you don't know my background story? and why I am the leading creative professor in the entire industry. I truly believe that. Essentials of Silhouette Studio. Essentials of Silhouette Studio breaks all of that down. Anyone that want, no matter what it is that you want to do, you need Essentials of Silhouette Studio. You need to have that on your dashboard to refer back to. It's a lot of information there, and I do mean a lot. The 30 days, the first one was taught over 30 days, so it's like 22 days of like actual instruction. Then we had like Q&A days and design days, and some of the classes are pretty long. Some are like only like an hour or so. Edit points, tracing, they can be like 4 hours long, but it was also because I was allowing people to trace in real time. So some of them are long. You can watch some of them on like 1x, 1.5 speed, 125, 1.5 speed, 2x might be a little too fast, but you can watch it in hyperspeed to kind of get through it and get the information. And then, so you'll get access to the 30 days. Then we did a 14-week refresher. Then we did a 10-week review. So we don't have any live classes, like going through everything planned, because I've actually kind of stepped away. Only thing I'm focusing on right now is the Creative Business Accelerator program, the Creative Lounge, and then I have another project, which is our Zip Learning, that I have to now finalize, because after the feedback that I got from the Black Wealth Summit and people coming up to me, I know I definitely need to start working on that. So I'm not doing a lot of like classes. I was going to do the grad one, but that content that's there is absolutely golden. The grad program that I will do this year is more so about advertising and the business side of it. So you would get the grad master program, and then I'm going to teach this year how to effectively market it. Okay. And we're going to use a lot of Canva for that one, and how to create marketing materials and things of that nature. Okay. So our site, for which one? I'll tell you, if you click on the link in the description, it'll take you technically to both sites. So our main site is, okay, so I'll put this up here because there is the code. It's going to be hsinc365.com. That is our main site for our company. hsinc365.com. That's where you're going to find the summation paper and ink, whatever's left of the ink. And you're going to find like the color charts. You'll find all sorts of like different resources, like digital files. There's some digital files on there. If you get access to our template vault, it includes everything that, like templates I have put out, not designs, but templates. There are some designs in there, but it's more so templates. And then like all of the classes are on the main site. And when you sign up for a class on the main site, it will create an account on our Academy site. So there are technically two different things. The Academy site houses all of the classes so that you can just go into your dashboard. Hold on, let me bring it up for you. And I'm so mad at myself because I'm gonna have to try and break this up for what I need this for. Okay, but I'm gonna leave that at the bottom. And okay, there we go. So this is our main site, shophsinc365.com. And so if you scroll, you'll start to see some classes, but also if you go to classes and playbacks, these are the ones that are available over here. Like I am going to probably bring back a lot of like old, like classes that are like 5, they're still relevant. Like people tell me all the time, they're still learning and eating off of those classes. But I try to keep it within anything I've done within like 2 years, like on here. So you'll see a bunch of different classes on here. So that this, according to this, is like 25 on here. So there's a bunch of different classes on here. And once you sign up for a class, what it's going to do is take you over, well, it'll create an account here. Some of these same classes you can see on this site. Some of them are technically hidden from the site, but you can still enroll in them from over here. My team is working to pretty much make everything available over here as well. But this is where your classes will be at. So it's going to create an account here. If you've never created an account with us, like you've never taken a class, once you buy a class over here, it's also going to send you an email that says Express Sign Up. That is where you have to set your password for this site. If you go and purchase from here, and then you simply go over here and you try and enter your email and like create a new password, it's going to say you already have an account. You have to go through the email that was sent to you. The best thing to do, though, the absolute best thing to do is go to 365creativeacademy.com, create a free account. And now, if you don't see the class that you want over here, or you want to use Sezzle, or you want to build up rewards points, this site doesn't offer rewards points. This one does. And you can apply those reward points to other classes. So if you create an account here first, and then you go to the Academy site, and you can get there just by going shop site, it will automatically, like, then you'll be set up. You then go to your dashboard. Okay. But this is where your classes are housed. So I'm going to go to my dashboard. So you would go to your dashboard. You're going to see all of the classes that you are enrolled in. Hold on one second, because if it shows the password to the group, I don't know what's going to pop up first. Okay. So it didn't go. All right. I got to make sure. So you'll have your welcome. This is where I show you how to navigate the dashboard. You'll have your information to join our student union. It's our exclusive group for anyone that has taken classes with us. If you're on Facebook, a lot of our students are not on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook and you just want to be able to have, help and support and be able to ask questions, there are times where someone asks a question. If I'm able to answer it in 15 minutes or less, I will create a video. If I can't, then you'll probably I'll try and explain it, or you'll have to book a one-on-one session. And then here are all of your playbacks. So this is one where all of them are together in one place, which is basically a YouTube link to them. And then this is our 2024. So that was the refreshers and the review. So we did a 14-week refresher at the beginning of the year, a 10-week review at the end of the year. So you'll see refresher, and then you'll come in here, and this is where you get to see all of the videos. So they're segmented for you. All right. So you can go to the part that you need. So if you wrote your notes and you left off, now the ones up here is straight through. But when you look at it through the bottom one, it's all broken up. Okay. And my team is trying to get, because I record all of my classes that way. So the team is trying to get the broken down parts of every single class that we've done and making sure that they all have the broken down parts to it and not just the one long video. But every day is labeled, and you'll be able to go to that specific day for the information that you need. Okay. So that's how that is set up. Do I have a video to correct lines? I'm using your paper and them other folk ink. What do you mean by correct lines? You have to give me a little bit more on that one. Let's see. Good morning, Professor. I'm on the West Coast of Florida. I would like to join your designing class. How do I go about becoming a member student of your classes? You're going to go to our website, and you're going to just decide which class you want. So like here, what I like about the shop site is it gives you a quick snapshot. Like it's easier to kind of go through most of like the classes that are available. So if you just go to classes and playbacks, and you'll just decide which class you want to take. As far as live trainings, being in a Zoom room with me, The only ones that are live right now is the Creative Lounge. So over here, it's going to be the Creative Lounge. Okay. We meet every single week on a Monday. And also the Creative Business Program. Those are the ones that are live right now. This is all business. This is not learning the craft business and okay, well, I want to learn the business side, but I also want to learn how to craft. Like I want to learn how to make t-shirts so I can make it into a business. No, this is going to how to structure your business, how to properly plan and do your taxes, mindset, customer service, systems. So all of the back end of business, the thing that really makes it a business is taught in this program. It is a bit of an investment for some, but there are options to either break it up into smaller payments with the buy now, pay later, and you get lifetime access, or you can enroll monthly for $93.65. Yeah, $93.65, and you can join us. We have a session tonight. It's our onboarding and meet and greet. So come and you can learn about that. So you're going to go through that. And any of these will kind of help with everything, else. But live is these two right here. There's going to be another live one for the Understanding Canva, and the Grad Master Program is also going to have a new element to it, but I'm not like it has everything that you can think of and need in it. So where is that one? Where is the Grad Master Program? Okay, where'd it go? Where is the Grad Master Program? I don't know why it's not on here because these are not it. But with that one, I'm not necessarily, I'm going to review some of the stuff like that's in there because you can watch those playbacks. I'm going to focus more on the marketing and business side of things this time around. Okay, when I print out my design in Silhouette Studio or Word, I have vertical lines on my design. So with that, I don't know if you have, if your colors are technically messed up, right? So your first line of defense is to do a nozzle check and make sure that you don't have a lot of breaks or missing lines, right? So that's the first thing. Now, well, actually you said vertical. So is it just streaks going down? Are you referring to dots? Like it's like little dots going down? Because you said vertical, not, well, yeah, because it will still be horizontal. That's banding lines. If you're able to, let me see, you comment on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, then go ahead, join our Honestly Speaking group and drop a picture in there. My other question to you is, what print setting are you using? What print setting are you using for your sublimation prints? That's a very, 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 very important question. What print settings are you using? So banding lines go side to side, not vertical. So they go horizontal, banding lines. But if you are getting lines going down, that's different than banding. Banding is, it also can be like, it can be whether you have broken lines when you're doing a nozzle check, so your print head is not outputting correctly. And it also can be your print setting. So I need to know exactly what you're printing on. I use your print settings when you set up your mom's printer years ago. So are you using a Mac or a PC? I'm still going to hate myself because I'm an hour in and I didn't do what I was supposed to do because this is for class, but it's okay. Okay, Macs can be finicky sometimes. Because I've done stuff like I'll take the same exact print and I'll like on the same printer, print it from my mom's Mac, and then from my PC, it comes out. So that's something where I really need to see your process. I mean, I would recommend booking a one-on-one session with me or joining the Creative Lounge. The next pro call isn't for like a few weeks, but if you join the Creative Lounge, I'm able to help with that, or you can book a one-on-one session. Because how can I verify exactly what settings? I'm not saying that it's you, but I've had tons of times where someone's like, I followed the exact settings, and then what happens is they may have done so, but depending on which printer they have, because I did it with a 7720. Somebody might be using a different. So when it comes to that error message on whether or not your paper, like the paper mismatch, they end up hitting the wrong option. And then it technically defaults, like it's now no longer printing in the settings that you put in. It is now printing in the default settings, and it could give you banding lines because that is set to plain paper standard. So I really would need to see exactly how you have it set up. You can go into our group, honestly speaking. Just don't mention that other brand, that ink that you have. Just talk about the paper and what's happening. I don't care about the ink. And then you will show me like your actual settings that you are using. Show me at one. I normally can tell if you post a print of exactly how it kind of came out. So if you post that, I normally can kind of gauge it from there. I can read prints like nobody's business. But pair that with showing me your exact settings, letting me know exactly which printer you have, and also if you ever get the paper mismatch error, and if you do, what happens. So to go through all of that, if you're able to record, so go show me your settings, send it to print, let me see the entire process of you printing, and you upload that, then I can assess it better and give you better direction. But it can literally be a bunch of things. So I just can't give this blanketed answer. Most coaches and mentors and all these other people in the craft space are just going to say, yeah, do da, 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 da. And you're going to do da, 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 and you're still going to have the same issue. I like to assess your exact issue, which is what makes me great, like the best in this industry. So if you want to book a one-on-one, you are going to go over to the shop site. You can search help. And you can do a full help session. These we don't do, like that was, I got to take that off. You can also do a quick help, but there's no video playbacks for the quick help. If you want to be able to have the playbacks and things of that nature, then you're going to need to do a full help session. Okay. So go to search, type in help, and either do full help session or a quick help. Quick help is 15, 20 minutes max. This one, you get a full hour. Okay, now, no more questions. Questions are off. I need to do this. I don't care if I'm down to 2 people because this really wasn't about y'all, this part that I need to do. It's something that I need to do for my Creative Business Accelerator program. So you're more than, look, I'm not answering any more questions. If you don't really know who I am, you'll get to learn more about me. But at this point, I don't really care if I go down to 2 people. I just need the audio. All right, so if you don't know who I am or know my backstory, here's where this is now going to start. All right, so you can stick around. I am Shakia Lavelle, also known as Shakia the Professor. I am a wife. My husband's name is Even. My 2 boys. I have a whole teenager. He's going to be in high school next year. Oh my God. Okay. So I have a 13, soon to be 14-year-old Makai Jeremiah, and Zion Imani is 6. He's about to be 7 next month. Okay. I have had the Honestly Speaking business since 2020. And that, well, Honestly Speaking is the brand, and then officially making our company name HS Inc. 365. This happened in 2020 when we end up having Honestly Speaking. So HS, Honestly Speaking, Inc., because it's the way that the play on words for speaking. I'm known as a straight shooter. I speak honestly. I don't sugarcoat it. It rubs some people the wrong way because they feel like they're adults. Who is this chick to talk to me? And I'm grown. I got grown lady and grown man bills. who she talking to, but I'm a straight shooter. I mean no harm with it. I'm a Gemini, and I'm just a straight shooter, okay? But honestly speaking, so HSINK, and then I changed the game. So the average, the common temp and time and process for sublimation was 400 degrees, 60 seconds. You need to put butcher paper on top because it gasses out the back. Well, due to some things that happened, I'm not going to necessarily get into that part because that isn't important. But I had to branch off and I had to do like my own thing. So I did a lot of research. It was kind of a fluke in me figuring out that this paper actually worked at a lower temp. I had just gotten a Hotronix Fusion IQ, and that thing it closed down on me it's like a mind of its own, and it literally just closed down. And the temperature wasn't up to 400 degrees, which is what we normally set it at. So I went and it closed down. And when it was only a few seconds at that point. And when I said, well, shoot, it's down now. Let me kind of just leave it. And it transferred. And I was like, wait, hold up. So I did more and more tests. So the 365 comes in at, you can sublimate with our paper, 365 degrees, 30 seconds. Technically, I can do lower temp, faster time. Like when I first tested it was actually around 360 for 20 seconds, but I do have a Hotronix. That thing is a beast. But like with any type of heat press, 365 degrees, 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds will get you where you need to be. It'll get you right, okay? It'll definitely get you right to have the most color output onto your substrate. So 365, 30 seconds, and it eliminates the need for butcher paper because it doesn't bleed through the back. So you don't have to worry about it bleeding through, and then you go and you do the next thing, and now you see this transfer of ink onto the next shirt or blank or whatever it is. So that was really I got called so many names. I mean, people made posts about me, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Who is she to say that you don't need butcher paper? There's a reason why. People are like, I've been doing this for years, and you always cars were not made the way that they are made now. We didn't have hybrid cars. Things change. Some lovely people overseas, they had technology that was amazing. And I think other people were just afraid of it. I was not afraid to bring that to the market, that you can actually do 365, 30 seconds. I didn't have a problem disrupting the system and just the status quo. So I end up introducing this paper, 365, 30 seconds. You don't need butcher paper. Oh, they thought I was losing my mind, right? I'm the one that's bold enough to put it inside of the oven. So that's where the brand and things came from. And that was 2020, until today. But I've been in business for quite some time. Learning to design, that is a 26, well, now we're at 27, over 20 years, nearly 3 decades of experience when it comes to designing. So my journey started when I was in high school. I'm a nerd, a proud nerd. Okay. I love learning. I love just education. I just soaked up. I am a person that's very, very inquisitive. I ask a lot of questions, which got me in trouble as a kid because I got an old school mom, old school grandmothers where they don't like for kids to question adults, but I couldn't help it. I've always been this way where I'm going to question everything. It has helped me, get to where I am now. And it makes me an authority in what I do, what I teach, but it's also gotten me into some trouble. I've lost jobs because I question bosses. I've gotten detention and things like that because I told teachers their answers were wrong, and I'm gonna stand by it because they how you do this. I don't know. So it has been a blessing and a curse, but that's just who I am. I like birthday gifts. My grandmother purchased me and it's a set of Britannica encyclopedias. If you know what that is, it was, look, okay. So I used to read dictionaries for fun. That's how much of a nerd I was. Okay. I liked almanacs. I like encyclopedias. I love dictionaries. I love thesauruses. That was just me, right? As a kid. So here come, it's like because of how I learned and the things I did, of course, in your family, everyone thinks become a doctor, become a lawyer. I was a talker. I could have gone the lawyer route, but because I like math and science, mom was like, okay, become a doctor. 11th grade year. Here's the other part about me. I came up in a time where you could go to summer school to take like the next classes. So where like now it's you had to have failed, you need to like make up something. And a lot of people did that as well for summer school, but they allowed us to go to summer school to take the next grade of classes to get it done in a shorter time. I did that every single year from the time I hit middle school, because they don't do it in elementary school, but middle school. So by the time I got to 11th grade, I had no real classes. They put me in anatomy and physiology. I was cool with the frog. I was cool with the crawfish. They brought out a pig. Excuse me? I'm not cutting up Wilbur. So I walked out. I went down. There's like Shakia. If you don't go back, it's going to affect your GPA. I don't care. F me, please. I'm not going back in there and y'all cutting up no pig. That at that moment I knew being in the medical field and being a doctor and all that stuff, yeah, that wasn't going to work for me. Okay, it wasn't going to work for your girl. I was already an editor for the newspaper and the yearbook. So I was like, okay, hey, you don't have any core classes. The only slot that we can put you in is graphic design. I don't care what it is. As long as I'm involved cutting pigs, put me there. Changed my life. This is where I was introduced to real design programs because I can work the hell. This was the old school word, not that 365 word. Old school word can do some things. Microsoft Paint, oh baby, we can do some things. The old version. I don't know what the hell they got out there now because that stuff sucks. As far as like the design part, word art was my friend before this graphic design class. This is where I was introduced to the Adobe products, Illustrator, Photoshop. This is where I was introduced to screen printing and, doing everything from flooding the screen with emulsions, burning the image like the old school way with the transparencies and the light. This is where I learned to develop film in a dark room. This is where I learned button making. We just did so many things in this graphic designing class at Barbara Goldman. Fell in love, right? So then my 12th grade year, again, in the same class. And so I just had this love for it. Back then, there was LimeWire. We had it in school, but I wanted it at home. Adobe was way too expensive. We had LimeWire, so I downloaded the bootleg version. And then I went into the Air Force. So after high school, I did not go to college. I went into the Air Force. I liked school, but I was over school. So I decided to go into the military, took my ASVAB. I missed 2 questions. I had my choice of any job that I wanted to in the Air Force, except a linguist and something else. Of course, pilot wasn't even on the list for me because, baby, I had never been in a plane. When they told me I had to take a plane to get to Texas, I was like, we can't drive there? The hell, a plane? So, anywho, I chose ground radio maintenance. One, it had a nice $6,000 signing bonus. So, yeah, sign me up, okay? So I ended up taking that job. And it also just it was a way for me to just utilize my love for science and math as how they presented it to me, which it really was. It was amazing in that career field. If I go back a little bit, my 12th grade year, because I had all of my required classes, I didn't have to really be in school. So you kind of have like a little work study thing. I interned at a radio station. This is where I feel like when I look back at it, I think this is where entrepreneurship or just really thinking outside of your traditional jobs and things like that came into play for me, because Derek B, 99 Jams, just opened my eyes that, wow, people don't talk about these types of jobs. So he was like the marketing and like he did like the commercial and stuff like that. I interned on the nighttime radio show with Albie Silk, meeting so many like entertainers and just seeing how the radio world work and commercials and just seeing that. So the technical part of that also kind of like, and the audio visual also helped me choose my job, because my job in the military was also audio visual. So we we put up all of the audio systems for like everything on base. Like that was us. We dealt with all of the two-way radios, things of that nature. We fixed and maintained the radios that's used for air traffic controllers to talk to the pilots. Like that was my job in the military. But all of that communication started based on my internship at WEDR 99 Jams when I was in the 12th grade. So I go into the military. I go into basic training. My mouth got me in trouble. I told y'all, I question everything. My mouth got me in trouble. End up having to stay back 2 weeks. But it also gave me more time with like my TIs where they really did help me kind of like reel me in a little bit. So when I got to tech school in Biloxi, I did my regular stuff, and they was like, hey, where do you want to go? I chose Korea. Well, you now need to take this extra class because they're going to do, they're like new technology and all this different stuff. So you now have to take this class in order to go to the station. No problem with me. I love a good challenge. I love anything, educational and learning. Took that, went to my first duty station in Korea and, did my job. Now, creatively, where I started at is before I went into the military, my cousin got pregnant. And old school, the people that I got in trouble for talking too much also didn't really do well with teenage pregnancy and celebrating it and having baby showers. But I feel like every baby should be celebrated. So I threw my cousin and decorated with spray paint and hand cutting cardstock stuff and gluing ribbons and basically gave her an amazing baby shower. That sparked something in me when it came to events. Wasn't paid for, wasn't paid to do it. It was just me doing it. When I went to Korea, that's a remote location, but people have birthdays. People did some things and they get pregnant. We throw them baby showers before they leave. I was the event person. Give me some spray paint, give me some cardboard and some scissors or a blade, and I can make it do what it do. So I was doing all the events and things in Korea, all right, for my friends, this, that, and the third. And then, of course, my job was to do these audio visual setups. So I leave there, I go to Germany, same thing. I'm hosting events. Now I have like kind of like clients, but like the other airmen there, they would throw parties. I'm decorating, I'm doing certain stuff. I have the PX I can get things from. So like that, but I never really charged. It was just a learning thing for me. I was still designing. I had my Corel Draw at that time, and I'm just designing. Never once, because the military is paying my bills. I don't have to pay any rent because I'm staying in the dorms. I'm still getting paid. So I never thought to charge anything. It was all just basically experience. I would have them buy the supplies, but I would just do the thing just to refine my skills. So fast forward, I get out of the military. What the hell do I do now? The first thing that I purchased when I got out of the military, I couldn't purchase a screen printing machine, the whole screen print setup, because we had a commercial setup. So I was like, I thought that was the only way that it can be done. So I couldn't do that. One of the things that I loved in that class was the button making and the keychain making. This thing is over 20 years old. This was the first thing. This is my button maker, my Badger Minute button maker. This was the first thing that I created. The first thing that I purchased that started me on the journey of creating customized items and actually selling them to people is my button maker. This is 20 years old, over 20 years old. Okay. So I got that. I've had a couple different jobs. So I went from working at PRC call center. Absolutely hated that job because people there, I like the job. People were crazy. I worked for Brinks Home Security, installing security systems. So all the technical part. We used to have now it's not where you just have the contactless one, like the wireless one. No, we're drilling holes through people's door frames, running cables and lines, because that was also my job when I was in the military. So running lines and stuff like that. So I worked for Brinks Home Security. I then got a job at Florida Memorial, which was directly connected to my event side, because I was the assistant for their, what's that thing called? Their banquet hall, because they had just built this banquet hall. And so they needed an assistant there. I created systems because like with the maintenance team, how they're supposed to set it up, this is me in my way that I think. Everything is designed. So I end up creating this system where I went in, I'm so technical. I measured out each room. I measured out each table, each chair. And I started creating systems where anytime someone came to do an event, if it was a speaking with like a banquet setup, I would give them the layout of exactly how to do it. They loved it. It made their job so much easier. When the guy sees me now, he was just like, I still remember that. And he was like, we still asked them for that. And at one point they didn't have it or whatever, because it used to take forever for the setups. They have to come in, change this, change that. I created that system and it's like, okay, boom. So you want to set up? He gave that paper to his team. He didn't have to macromanage them. They set it up, boom, done. They're able to focus. I've always been about efficiency and creating systems to make things easier, more efficient, make it better, and make everybody's life easier. That's always just been who I am at my core. So I did that job. Eventually ended up like leaving there and worked American Airlines Arena where the Heat play. Went in for one job, came out as a supervisor. This is where I learned really about, this is where business, the back end of business really started for me, because I was what's called the stand lead. You run the stand. So this is managing people, the cashiers, the preps, the cooks. Like there's so many people in there and you have to make sure they're staying on task. You have to know how much food to cook, when to cook it, knowing how long it takes to cook so that you can keep your lines down. I had to manage the money, do the inventory, like inventory control. Within 2 weeks of being there, I was like, okay, yeah, I can't deal with this system. I went in, I created my own Excel spreadsheet because I know Excel and I knew Access because Microsoft was my jam. I told you back then it was thebomb.com. Created this system and I was in stands where everybody before me, they would always be the last person out of the building because it's like, oh, this stand is too much. It's like, it's too busy and all this counting stuff. When I started coming down, they was like, wait a minute. We've been open for years and people in those stands are literally the last ones to leave. How are you one of the first people down here? Because I created a system. Ain't nobody got time for this. When I first met my husband, I met him there. He came into my stand. He tried to touch my stuff and move it. Hey, don't touch my stuff. Oh, with the lines, I have paid attention to these lines for weeks. I know how much I need. Don't touch my sleeves. I don't do waste. I was one of the reducing waste. I'm not other people. They would have all this food at the end of the night that goes to the home. I don't do waste. Okay. If I have 1 or 2 donuts, not donuts, hot dogs or pretzels, but I don't do waste. Don't touch my stuff. I have a system. So I ended up doing that. And because of all that, it made it to where I'm able to take on other positions, getting into supervisor positions. When I started dating my husband, I had to move to other departments. So I went to catering. Now I'm learning how contracts work. I'm learning more like guest services, working with the media, like just catering. And I created a system there because they was putting out too much water, too much soda. Again, waste. I'm all about efficiency. Left the catering and I went to suites and loges. And there I was like on like the dessert cart. They never had any, they had no way of counting. And that was the highest food cost in the arena, was that those 3 dessert carts, highest food cost. They had no way of ever tracking it. It's like, we're just going to cut up cake. We're going to give out liquor in these little no way of tracking it. I went in there. I observed. All right, okay, boom, 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 boom. We do X, Y, and Z. I created this system. They're now able to see where the money goes, where they were wasting money, like constantly buying cakes. Again, I'm saving money. This, of course, puts me on their radar. Everywhere I go, I create efficiency. Every single place I go. Well, I guess even back up before I left there, I worked with like the nonprofits. I was determined to learn this business. In my mind, I had found where I was going to spend my career. I was going to go from being a stand lead, and one day I was going to be the director. Like that was my career path. I wanted to always stay with that company. So I made it my business to learn everything. I would stay after. I started helping the managers input because again, I'm the first one of the first people down. So I get all my stuff done. Hey, Shakia, come here, put everybody else stuff in. So I'm putting that in. I end up working with the nonprofits. When it came to the cash room, it wasn't efficient. People would lose stuff. So I created this system. We had all these name tags. I put all of the stands on there. I put it with their folders. That's how the cash room loved it. It was like accountability. That, again, I am about efficiency. Every single thing, everything I touch, every job that I've had, they can never say that I did not create a system that made life easier. I'm all about efficiencies. I understand breaking things down to the simplest form to figure out what's going to work best. That is my superpower. Okay. So I did that. Then I left, went to catering. I went to suites and loges. Once I did my thing there, a new position came up for subcontractor supervisor. So, like, for someone who was going to hold these subcontractors accountable, making sure that they were in compliance with food regulations. So I'm also able to help anybody in the field where you want to get into food service, because I know what it is to be Serve Safe certified. I've had to take the test. Also on that one, highest score there too. Ew. No, ASVAB, I forgot. No, ASVAB, I missed two on both. My Serve Safe, I only missed two questions also. But I know that world. So I've had several people that I've coached who are chefs and things of that nature, and being able to let them know like what they need. I've had so many experiences that makes me great really at any industry, but I like, of course, creative, but I think it all still kind of comes back. So I was now the subcontractor supervisor. I setting up visits for subcontractors for them to come in and pitch their whatever their cart was, whatever their food was, or their beverage, whatever it is, dealing with their contracts, setting contracts up. This is why in creative business, when we get through that part, as far as contracts, terms and conditions, and things of that nature, I got that experience and being able to go through contracts there. Just managing several other like companies. I got that experience there. Now that's where things kind of got a little crazy, but God was setting me up for greatness already. One of the subcontractors that came in, just in how I presented myself, just from setting it up, from being in the meeting, it's like, well, damn, the managers aren't here. They have a supervisor, like kind of the trust that they had in me. She offered me a job, but I'm like, I don't want that. Like, my goal is to become a director. Like, I mean, thank you, ma'am. At the time, I was pregnant, right? So with MJ, and but she kept, every time she would come to because she was a subcontractor, but she was also a season ticket holder. She would ask me every time she saw me, I'm walking around the floor, you ready to come work for me yet? You ready to come work for me yet? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, I'm gonna call you whatever, because here I am thinking, you can't start a new job. I'm literally going to be on maternity leave. Like, there's no way. And one time she told me, she's like, I don't care about you being pregnant. Like, I need you at my company. I'm still like, no. My sister and my god sister come to a concert. They end up in the wrong suite. Somehow I got blamed, even though I wasn't the person that gave them the tickets, even was. But hey, my mouth always gets me in trouble because I'm always questioning people. And the head lady, she didn't like, that I had so much access to things as a supervisor and not a manager. And she didn't like when I questioned certain things. And again, making stuff efficient. When it came to even for the liquor, that's like the second highest like cost is liquor. And, with managing certain things, and like when it came to their pours and literally doing the math on it to make sure like we can go, and if your bottle is like this and you sold this, I can tell if you were giving out too much, like, again, efficiency. She ain't like that. Okay. Like, you involved in too much. So when the things happened with my sister, I got blamed. I got fired. But it was a blessing, right? Because I refused to leave, and he was trying to push me elsewhere. I went to go work for Coffee Beanery, and I was an operations manager. So now I'm able to really see the things that I wanted to do. I knew at Levy, it would take me years to get to director or operations manager. God sped that up. I'm going to remove you from here as basically a supervisor, and I'm going to promote you to a position of operations manager. Everything for her business, except for her finances, I took care of. I was on the fast track to understanding human resources, understanding taxes, like all these things. Um, Again, inventory control. This lady was bleeding. I had to go in and set up systems. I set up SOPs. The employees didn't like it because they were not able to steal. She was losing money. I helped her figure out where that money was, able to fire, get rid of certain people, but she still was bad at money management. So it just did not work out. But I created efficiency. So it just gave me the experience of being the head, basically, next to like the owner and stuff like that. Operations manager for every single part of it, HR. So now I'm learning about all of the things for HR by being in this position. Well, she let me go. MJ was 3 months because I was pumping and she saw me on the camera. And that was her excuse because, again, she was bleeding money. She needed to cut the fat. It didn't matter. I realized it hurt at first, but I realized I got what I needed from that. Remember, I told y'all I got fired from Levy because of my sister. I applied for unemployment, got denied. When she let me go, she could not justify why. So now when I go and apply for unemployment, I now qualify for the unemployment from the first one because they said you have to make so much money to work a job. I worked just enough and made just enough to where I then qualified to get unemployment from Levy that fired me. I got unemployment for her. And that allowed me to basically do that for a year and a half. Once MJ, I had like one other job, like 3 months, tutoring. Never knew how me taking that job when MJ was 6 months old. I told you, MJ's about to be 14. When he was 3 months old until he was 6 months old, I had a job where it was tutoring. It was like this program that had grants and stuff for tutoring. And this is where I'm seeing all of the strands and all of the standards for Florida education. Did not know how that would come around until this year when I'm now developing curriculum within the Florida system. But that's a story for another day. That lasted 3 months. From that point on, I left that job, never looked back. I've never worked for anyone else because everything that I had gone through, all those jobs, God sat me down and it all became clear. That's when I went all in, and now all the experiences I had. So throughout this whole time, I'm doing events, I'm doing balloons, all that stuff. I never charged anyone. I would always just say, pay for the supplies, and I was building my inventory. So if I had to get linen, I buy the linen, I get to keep it. So they had to purchase it, but I got to keep it. That's how I built my inventory for my event planning business. Never charging, but I always got tips. Once I left that one, let's go full on into event planning. So I did that for quite some time. Very, very successful in it. For me, event planning was not about doing super elaborate events. From day one, I knew that my event planning business was for those who technically wanted wanted a nice party, especially for moms or parents that had kids, but their money was not super long to have all these things. I'm a creative. I'm able to create whatever it is. Even then, I never called it crafting, which is why some people now don't understand why I don't like saying craft business. I didn't call it crafting. Like I was just creating like things for parties. I was a DIYer, but it was never like this whole, I got into crafting. I didn't know, it was just creating. So I was doing all these things. And so now that I don't have this one, let's get into entrepreneurship. This is where I learned most of like the back end stuff of business. It got to a point where it was too much going on. In the event business, you cannot work one event at a time and really make money, especially not how I was doing it because I wasn't doing these big elaborate events. It was always like to be affordable, right? And so I'm doing 2-3 events, like setups at a time. Our house was a madhouse. We have a kid. His stuff is all over the place. Something has to give. So what was that? 3 years? Because they're like 3-4 years apart. My sister gets pregnant with my niece. I was hand cutting everything. I had a Cricut, but you had to use cartridges. I used SureCuts a lot, Make the Cut, but then ProCraft sued them, did the firmware update. You couldn't use that anymore. Again, I'm a graphic designer. I got to be able to design my own. I can't rely on these cartridges. So my niece's my niece's baby shower, I designed, is it over here? I actually just had that here. It was somewhat like this. It wasn't exactly like this because, of course, I've changed the information. But it was basically like this, right? So this was done in Word. No, this one may have been done. This particular one may have been done in Silhouette. This was done in Word. I know for sure. Like this is how it. This was in 2010. And this was done in Word. It was like a little flyer. But this one, but anyway, with my sister's own, I put real dirt down here. Like I glued real sand and stuff down there. So I end up doing this. And for her baby shower, I end up getting my first cameo. I thought I was going to be able to use it. Didn't really figure out print and cut in time. Still hand cut everything. Foam board. Back then, 2013, cutting foam board by hand. So end up doing that. End up coming across my first cameo. Another blessing in disguise, because at this point, even was over me and all my party shenanigans. I worked this program. I saw how well it, like how efficient it was for it to be free, and how closely it was like to Illustrator and Photoshop and Corel Draw, because these are the programs that I'm now accustomed to using, but this is free. I started answering questions like on Facebook, in groups, because here I am a mom. MJ was not in school. He didn't go to school until he went to pre-K. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. I got tired of just talking and playing with a little one because I had kind of stopped my business because it was either my man or the business because our house was a mess. So I had to kind of become more domesticated and, not be able to have so much stuff around the house. End up finding this, started teaching. Someone let me know. I was watching YouTube, but for family vlogs. Someone said, hey, can you not answer those questions in my group? Because I answer these questions on my YouTube channel, and that's how I make my money. I'm sorry, excuse me. Run that back by me again. People make money from YouTube? Wait, well, let me go look into this. That started the journey of me 10 years, now almost 11 years ago, setting up on YouTube. At first, I was just on Facebook, doing Facebook Lives, and I got on YouTube, and that's kind of what led me here. And I've just been showing people how to use Silhouette Studio. I was kind of still doing events and things during that time, but I scaled back a lot because homegirl told me I could make money. So I was just doing like little things here and there. People who knew me, I just wasn't advertising as much. I'll do balloons. I was still doing full-on balloon setups because those are easy, but all the stuff for events, I had to kind of slow down. So then it turned into teaching. I was one of the first, if not the first, because I got so much flack for it. Oh, the names that I got called because I was charging $5 to be in an exclusive group to learn Silhouette Studio. One-time fee of $5. That was it. Because at the time I had like 5,000. I'm like, well, if all 5,000 those people pay for exclusive access, I'll be rich. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. So I did that for like a year. Then I'm like, even was like, okay, you're on this service all the time. Okay, it was cool to see that money coming in. Like, yeah, it was nice, but it kind of stops. It plateaued. Then I turned it into a membership on Facebook. Pioneer in it. Had to pay $5 a month to stay a part of my group. Some people didn't like it. Some people left, but it was like $5.35. I think that's what it was. $5.35. Oh, I just realized that. I've always kind of had that. Now we just added the 6, but it was like $5 basically to be a part of this Facebook group. Then that turned into, okay, this still ain't enough. End up teaching classes. And this is just where we are now. So where I think my first class I taught via, not Skype, any meeting. And I think I did Skypes first, then any meeting. And now I do use Zoom in my class platform. So I started teaching classes, just showing the things that I know. My original essentials class was like 8 hours, then like 10 hours, 8 hours. And then eventually we got down to the 30-day because I realized, okay, this is more efficient. But that is just who I am, my background, and what makes me great at what I do. I create efficiency wherever I go. My systems, they work. I'm able to look at, I ask a lot of questions because I'm going to develop a plan for you based off of your situation, whether or not you have kids, you can't travel as much, you have a job. Okay, how can we efficiently do this? I am an example. I know you might feel like you are on borrowed time. If it's your time to go, it's your time to go. You can't take none of it with you anyway. But if you want to build sustainability, I've shown the blueprint works. But because I've gone through this, I can help you cut through that and cut your time down. I'm living proof. Starting small and being able to build an empire that makes multiple six figures. Okay. Can't wait so I can say the seven figure. I mean, I guess if we kind of cumulatively over these years, I've surpassed the $1 million mark. But in like a single year, things like that. So multiple six figures and doing what I do, it's possible. But I was dedicated to the craft, dedicated to the process, dedicated to always improving my skills, dedicated to always learning, dedicated to always looking for a better, more efficient way. So that's a little bit about who I am. Okay. If you are someone that's in business, you want to build a sustainable business, you want to understand all of the back end and understanding taxes. I went from like, once we started making money, luckily I did understand some things. Like when I really was, I mean, as an event planner, I wasn't seeing the kind of money I did as like teaching classes and my ink and paper, because I was never in it to make a lot of money. It was like just to kind of supplement, because it even was already making six figures. So it was just to supplement. It was to pay for vacations. It was to put in MJ's after high school fund. It wasn't really to sustain us. So I wasn't really worried about the pricing. I always did our taxes. I learned to do taxes from my mom. 1040 easy was like real simple for us. But that first year to make that kind of money was kind of shocking. It was like, woo, okay. I went from getting refunds to now I owe Uncle Sam about 10,000, which was like, and I later found out when someone looked at my things and it was like, to make all of this money and all you owed was 10,000 is actually amazing, because that means you did your taxes right. Yeah, I've been doing my tax reviews. I've been studying tax laws for a while now, so I kind of knew what I had to do. Then the next year, I learned a little bit more. It went down to 7,000. This year, we got a refund because I made necessary changes. We're going to talk about those changes actually next week, Tuesday, and how I reduced my tax liability and went from, no matter, we're still making all this money, to then I can actually get a refund back because of how we set it up. That's what we're going to teach day 2 of the 5-day intensive in the the Creative Business Accelerator program. It is an investment of nearly $1,000, but it is for an extent. It's not just one class. It is an extended class that's also going to have accountability and co-working sessions to make sure that you're getting the things done. So I don't want you just to learn all this information. I need you to put the work in. They were shocked because we got to your roles and responsibilities, and I had each and every last one of them sign a contract. They had to put their name on the dotted line that you are going to do X, Y, and Z. You have to execute. So my program is set up to give you the information, but not give you information and then just leave you to your own vices. You will be able, like, it's help walking through the process. If you want to understand systems, if you want to have a business that you can see consistency in, you can predict sales, Creative Business Accelerator is where you want to be. Okay. You'll get the first time I did this, the pilot program from 2 years ago. You'll be able to go back and watch those and learn from that as you're like waiting for the new sessions to start up. If you want to just do it monthly, you click the link that is in the description. I think that might be the first one. So you'll put that in, you get 10% off. The code is there, and you can do monthly. And that code even works for monthly. So your monthly goes from $93.65 right now to $74. That code will not be there forever. It will not be. If you want to get in for like under $75, join now, put that code in so that you can save. Once the accelerator has started or we're midway, that code will go away. It will be the regular price. I gave you my background. Laid it all out for you. You can decide if I'm the person that you need to learn from. Do I possess qualities that you need in your entrepreneurship journey? Okay. Without talking how much money or whatever, my experience, my expertise should speak for itself, where you can make the determination that I am somebody that can help you in your creative business. Okay. Yes, I teach Silhouette Studio. So like these were designed in Silhouette Studio. So learning Silhouette Studio is not the same as learning the machine. So those are two different classes. Learning the machine is different than learning Silhouette. So learning Silhouette. So I do teach both. But if you want to learn Silhouette Studio, that is a class. If you're trying to figure out how to operate the machine, that is a separate class. I'm a Gemini as well. May 30th. Ooh, 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 ooh. All right. So I had to do that. And those who want, if you join the Creative Business Accelerator program, you're going to see why I had to literally say all of that. Like, it was probably boring for some. Like I said, I didn't care if 2 people were here. I just needed the audio. I needed it documented and the audio, and it's for a reason. Everything I do is calculated. My posts are calculated because I understand what moves the needle. So yeah, that part is done so that I can have that audio. And like I said, they'll learn about it. If you have any questions for me in regards to the Creative Business Accelerator program, feel free to ask. I will be doing a live video with someone who is a mentee of mine. She's in the program, but she's also booked one-on-one sessions with me. You guys, some of you guys probably know who it is. Javaya from Gifted Hands by Javaya. If you know the Blank Spot and Eric and Dee, they'll tell you, like, me being mentors for them. But I will have a live session because even outside of the accelerator program, booking one-on-one sessions with me for business, which they're very affordable. It's $153.65 an hour. Some people charge way more than that. She's seeing the transformation and starting to see the changes. Others are starting to see the transition. I'm also a Shopify partner. I've had to go in and overhaul and do certain things for the back end of people's Shopify sites. So we do have a Shopify class. I'm a Shopify partner. If you're ever interested in that, going through me, you will be able to fully set up your shop and not pay $1 until your shop is set up. Okay. Yours is June 14th. Okay, so being the fact that you were June. See, June Geminis are different than May Geminis. But how long do you celebrate your birthday? Your birthday runs from when to when? Let's see how much of a Gemini you are. How long does your birthday run? Because see, we have 2 sides. So it's like the one side has to have their celebration and then the other. So I took the Memorial Design class boot camp. Would that be a source for me to do the obituaries? So you didn't take the class then. So you purchased it, you enrolled. But that means if you're not sure if obituary stuff is in it, does that mean that you didn't watch it? You just purchased it? So taking the class and enrolling in the class are not the same thing. So you start on May 31st. See, I am a May Gemini. So my birth celebration, my birthday, I'm telling everybody it's my birthday as of May 1st. Okay. I want all of May. I understand that's not Gemini season. That's okay. I'm a May baby. Okay. And I'm a May baby. So it goes from May 1st until June 20th. This is my birthday celebration, May 1st to June 20th. See, most Geminis would be like, they go from June, from May 20th until June 20th. That's like Gemini season. No, I'm a May Gemini, and we're a different breed. So I celebrate from May 1st until June 20th. All of May, all of Gemini season. So I will say this. It does not teach you, because it was more so like memorial designs for shirts, tumblers. Like, it's like the designing part and how to bring things in. It wasn't specifically, there's a lot for obituaries. There's a lot for that. So you're not going to get obituaries set up in that particular class, but it does still teach, like, options for memorials. Everything for me, that class mainly was about, you don't have to have heaven, you don't have to have doves, you don't have to have wings, although we did do it, we use Whitney and some other stuff, but just showing how to be able to do memorial designs with just text. Like, I love a good text-based design, and maybe a picture here and there. I don't like wearing faces on shirts, so I taught a lot of text-based designs in that class. But it's a one day. I think it was a one day. I can't teach everything. I mean, for memorial, you got obituaries. You can do buttons. I've done casket inlays, rags, memorial ribbons, fans. Like, there's so much to the memorial part of it. I've not done like a full on, like, doing all of those different things, because it really would need to be a program. Some people go and they do like these little quick things, and it's like, that's not really teaching it. If you're somebody that wants to really do it, like, I've thought about creating that program where you need to be with me several weeks, like, so that we can go through it. You can practice and you can really learn. But if you learn to design, all memorial design is you're just, it's about someone's death. But if you learn how to make something for birthday, and how to bring things in, how to crop it, how to set your text and all those different things, you are 75% there. You now might just need to find the elements. So with the memorial class, what you will get are some of those like key elements, like rainbows and clouds and doves and flares and things of that nature that you can put into different designs. But as far as obituaries, I won't say that it's in there. If you are in Creative Lounge, we have pro calls. You can always ask and bring that up if you needed some tips and things here and there. Or you can always book a one-on-one session. So yeah, that wasn't meant for obituary designs. So there is no true like format for it. I mean, if you look at the ones that I've done, they don't have the same formatting at all. I mean, even just looking at the covers. Oh, wait, no, this one isn't my design. So every last one of those covers is different. This cover, totally different. This is about learning design. You don't need an obituary class. Now, knowing how to do the spread, maybe. Knowing how to set up a trifold. Now, these are available. This exact one, this one isn't, because I can't really make this into a template. But this one is, if you have the template vault, there are 3 or 4 trifold setups where it does have design elements to it, but the trifold part is already accounted for. You just have to make sure that your printer is able to print, whether you outsource or you're going to do it edge to edge, or you have to print it on 12 by 18 paper and then trim it down to the 11 by 17 so that it's a clean edge. If not, it's going to end up like this one, where you have the white lines. So that's the part where, I mean, if you're looking for a class on it, I can go through and walk you through what you need to know as far as formatting. But design, it's still on you. You have to know what's your personal style for creating them. And if it's something that you need like immediately, it might, I mean, I'm not sure. Are you trying to come out the gate creating an 8-page spread? Or, and is this something that you just want to learn just so that you can add it to your business? Or are you asking because you need to design and put together an obituary for an upcoming service? Because this right here, there's really no template for this. I could never give someone a template for this because it's just my grandmother's picture. And you have to know how to use Photoshop to, fade off the edges. It's just a sunflower here. The background, I mean, I guess if you wanted this exact glow on yours, maybe, but I wouldn't really be able to do this as necessarily a template unless you wanted a specific sunflower theme. This isn't like a template where, okay, well, let me just change this into a diamond. That's going to look crazy there. I mean, this part to where the pictures are there, but in hindsight, it's not like I went and I put those in there. I just took the pictures in Photoshop. I added the outline and the shadow, and I manually arranged them. So it's not like the boxes were there and I dropped a picture in. I mean, I could make that into a template and you just kind of know where to put things at. But, I chose a picture that would just fit in this space. On other ones, they have a full picture. And see, the back, that part is totally different. The back of this one is different. This one has so template wise, it's kind of hard. Because it's just the text in a box, and I just arranged pictures, and every picture is not going to be a bunch of group pictures. Like this page was specifically designed because every picture on here was a group picture. So I had to arrange it in a way where all the group pictures would fit. There's no template for this. I just arranged all of the pictures to get as many on there as possible. So there's no specific template. But just knowing the paper size, that is something that you can, that can be taught. Just knowing paper size, how to set it up for print so that it's either going to print edge to edge or it's going to be trimmed down. But it just depends on if you're wanting to learn it and you have time, like it's something that you really want to learn. There's a lot of processes to it, and you have to dedicate the time to learn it. It's not something where, okay, hey, just a temp, I'm just going to start making. Some people can, but then they still end up with a lot of questions. So you can start anywhere. Your first one won't be perfect, which nothing should be perfect, but you may run into a lot of questions and issues from your first one. That is something like with those, again, I've been prepping and all those things. Like I've been in this for a really long time. I have 26 years of design experience. So any design that I create now is a combination of all of that experience and me being able to look at it and just figure out, like, based off of what they're giving me, how to put it together. It's for a service and they only want something simple, going back and looking at the playback. So again, playback will probably help you design like the cover. We did, I'm not sure if you were ever in our like bachelor's, master's program. I mean, I know your name. I don't remember like every single student. We have over 9,000 students. So that have come through our academy at any given time. So I don't know if you were in like bachelor's, master's program, but I know in master's, we went over how to set up like a trifold, like how to set the 11 by 17 how to determine where that fold is. Like that's something that I went over. But as far as like just the setup, look into the template vault. You might be able to use those and just change the colors as long as you know how to use Silhouette Studio. If you see one that you like the foundation of it, but you're not sure how to adjust it, you can always book a one-on-one session for that because we'll have a starting point. Especially if it's something that you need right away. You may not have enough time to research and try this and try that. You want to do it yourself. It's going to be best for you to invest $53.65 for that hour session to walk you through it, so that you can get that done in a timely manner. So yeah, if you're in masters, you can go back. Like we had a whole session that was about setting up a brochure. A trifold is nothing more than a brochure if they're okay with the trifold. So they say if they want something simple, trifolds work. If they don't have a lot of pictures, now they got a family and it's like everybody want to have a picture in it, then that becomes a little bit more complicated with arranging all those unless you're going to set up a grid. But then even with that, like setting up a grid doesn't always work because what if they send a picture that was wide, that was landscape versus being portrait? What if it was a square? So there's all these variables to where you have, some people will sell a template with grids in it, but the pictures may not always fit in there. It's going to cut, especially if you're using Canva and they have all these frames. You can't really adjust that image inside of that to show the entire picture. So it's understanding design at the end of the day. Oh, she says, this live is so inspirational, still listening. And I'm 2 hours in. Thank you. When is the service though? When is the service? If it's something that's coming right up, I would not advise you try to learn to create from scratch. Now, you want to get a good one because here's where my issue has been with Canva. People that don't know design. I've seen people sell obituary templates and I'm like, why does each page look like a square? This is not a square. But I've seen so many where it's like the design is like this. And I'm like, what paper are you printing that on? So for the longest time, I had it, but like teaching it for design, I had a bad taste in my mouth because I was like, the industry ain't ready for me to be disruptive and telling y'all using Canva all wrong and y'all don't know what the hell y'all do. People like, they feel, oh, I'm making money, I'm this, I'm that. It's like, it's so many people. They're just doing the thing just to do it. And because they have views, because people's like, oh my God, that's so amazing. Like people are praising something because they don't know how to do it. But with all of that praise, a lot of these instructors are not seeking to improve. They're afraid because, okay, hey, I'm already teaching classes. They don't want to be in a class when some of them need to have their butts in a class because you're not teaching proper proportions. You're having people squish and like stretch and squish things. You have templates that you're selling that's just one, and it's like, oh, use this for an all over shirt. You can put this on a tumble. No, it's different arrangements to this. But because they have already started teaching, them going back and getting proper education to them, it's like, ooh, no, because I don't want people to think that, I'm in a coaching program just to be able, like on a higher level, not for any of the crafting stuff, but like on the business side, on the investing side, like there's always going to be something that you can learn on every level that you are at. The resources that are available, you didn't have people who were doing classes like this. The way that a lot of people are kind of doing classes, like having Zoom and being able to be in a room with someone. We didn't have, groups that you can go in and someone can just go live and show something. It was like YouTube, and then most times they're not doing that live. It was pre-recorded stuff. No one was really going on live teaching. That was another thing. That's why I didn't think that you can do it, because I didn't see that. You see people just make pre-recorded stuff. They edit it down. I hated that. So I did it at one point and I'm like, no, I'm going live. And I'm going live and I'm teaching. I was a pioneer in that. and being one of the first ones to literally teach live and not do it via a pre-recorded. I started out pre-recorded. I was trying to do one takes. When you're good, you're that good. A lot of people got to edit. Some stuff I was able to do, and this one take, okay? Because I'm like, I ain't got time for all that editing stuff. So now you do have more ways of learning, and people have more access to different styles of learning. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but there's also a lot of things being taught in not the best way. I agree. Was just hopping on to say the same. Great live, listening while working. Nice to hear a backstory. Oh, thank you. I mean, it's not the first time that I've said it, but I don't know which video. I've had so many live videos. I didn't know which one was, and I needed to be able to go and actually like pull the audio from it. So yeah, I ended up doing the backstory again. Which I think this time, even though it was longer, because when I was looking at the time, I think I got it all done in like 30, 40 minutes. So I think it was even a more condensed version than what I've said before. One of these days, I'll probably go find the one that I did, like a couple of ones I've done previously, but mm-mm. Uh-oh, wait, what happened? Okay, there we go. So it's a lot of things I did. So I gave, even though it was long, still the condensed version. I feel like it's still a condensed version, but it was enough for what I need to do. But I hope to see you guys in the creative. If you want to truly grow business, not the creative side. There's a lot of people that teach, they say they teach craft business, but they're teaching you the craft stuff. And it's like, oh, learn this and you can make money, but not truly teaching you about making money, about building a brand, understanding the back end, being willing to talk to you and like educate about taxes, where you can still go to your tax professional, to finish it off, but at least you have some knowledge of it. Knowing multiple, websites, and starting off taking orders with just my PayPal, with just a Word order form, creating order forms in Silhouette Studio for people to, like, I print them out. Hey, you need to fill this out. So, I mean, there's just layers and layers and layers and layers and layers to my expertise in business. So I hope to see you guys in the Creative Business Accelerator program. We have a meet and greet tonight, so you still have time to get in. Come in tonight. You'll get to see, the expectations of it. We kick off on Monday. So Monday the 10th, it's my oh, snap. I just realized something. Monday is not. Ooh. I think I just made a mistake. I just thought about something. I think I did. I have business structure breakdown, but that's not Monday. That's technically Tuesday. Yeah. Creative Lounge's Monday session is going to have to be moved to Tuesday, because Monday is mindset. It's not business structure breakdown. That's Tuesday. I'm going to have to update this. Yeah. So next week's Creative Lounge session won't be on. I mean, I could technically, because I already put it on there and it's the link. So now they've registered for it. They have access to it. The date will change to the 11th. So I could technically create a Zoom and it'll just be another pro call session. I'll probably poll to see if anyone has questions to do a pro call session on Monday. If not, Creative Lounge session next week will be on Tuesday at 8 p.m. because that's business structure breakdown. So the actual lineup for the 5-day intensive, and let me guys know, if you feel like, okay, I like what I hear, but $1,000 is too rich for my blood, I'm going to tell you what the 5-day intensive is. And if you feel like you need that, let me know, because I might set it up to where people can join just that. Like you can come for the 5 days. It's still gonna cost you, won't cost you $1,000, won't cost you. I mean, technically, no. You can come pay for the $93.65 because you're gonna, if I do it that way, you will end up paying more. So I would recommend setting, so yeah, if you want to come for just that, go to the site, enroll in the 1 month. Now, you won't technically get playbacks after your month is over with because you won't have access to the class anymore, but you can sign up for 1 month. I might do it to where you can get playbacks. So it's going to cost more. If you want to come to those sessions and you want the playbacks for that month only, it's going to cost you more. But if you go to the Academy site and you sign up for 1 month, you only pay $93.65 and you're going to get the 5-day intensive. You'll also get, if you sign up, you'll get what? 2 extra weeks or 3 weeks. Lord, Canva don't have, that's why Canva was messing up. Oh no, you're invited to our biggest launch yet. Join us in person or online April 10th, Pacific Standard Time for an event unlike any other. Oh, they have Canva Create Uncharted. Ooh, get tickets. It's in, join us in $250. So you can go to learn about Canva, or you can look at it online for free. I'm going to probably do it online for free because I have to fly to California and anybody doing that. Oh, there's something that just popped up. They have, Canva has some event and it's $250. Or you can register and watch it for free. I knew they had something going on because Canva been acting crazy lately. All right, so I'm going to go through. I'm going to show you guys this slide so that you can see what we're going to teach. Okay. What the heck? Okay, I don't know. All right, so day 1 of the 5-day intensive starting on next week, March 10th. That's Monday. Mindset, the foundation of everything, shifting from hobbyist to business owner. Day 2 is business structure and legal protections. So the difference between being a sole proprietor, because in any state, you can be registered as a sole proprietor and it's technically still business. You just don't have certain legal protections. An LLC, the benefits of electing to be set up as an S Corp. This is going to be one where if you are considering that, you're going to want to be in that session because you technically will only have about 4 days to file your S Corp election. You have to file it within the first 75 days of the calendar year so that you would be taxed as an S Corp. So you don't want to miss that one. So that way you can fill out the paperwork and be able to submit that once I tell you the benefits of electing S Corp. Day 3 is marketing, branding, and your business identity. Day 4 is pricing and profitability. Day 5 is your ordering process and customer service. And it's, giving you game on if you're not ready for a website. I mean, there's a bunch of options out there. Some people are using PayHip, but even if you're not even ready for that part of it, like just using order forms, how do you stay organized with your orders? Because you can take certain things through PayHip and have them pay it through that way, or different invoices. But how do you stay organized? What is your onboarding process for your customers? How do you communicate with them? How do you get pictures for customized items? The pros and cons. People will tell you, if you have a Shopify, get the little app where they can upload their pictures. That actually, you can lose sales that way too, because what if they don't have all of the pictures on the website, like on the device that they're trying to book, right? They're on their phone, but the pictures are on their computer. They're on their computer, but the pictures are on their phone. So I talk about those things. So these are my 5 pillars of building a profitable business. And that's, you have to have the right mindset, your business structure, and understanding your business structure and legal protections, the branding and marketing part of it, because they're totally different. But what is your business identity, your pricing, and what's your profitability, and how you're pricing, how you are, how you're getting your supplies, how you are conducting business, understanding your overhead, and then your ordering process. So these are the 5-day intensive. And then we kind of go into some topics, some co-working sessions, accountability. So this is that. So even if you only sign up for the first month, you'll be able to attend the 5-day intensive, and you'll get about 2 or 3 weeks of our weekly sessions. Okay. I'm glad you understood what the purpose was. I'm going to do a video like you did for your business for myself, so that I can be prepared to talk about my business more. Somebody was paying attention in Creative Lounge. No, there was that's one Creative Lounge. No, I talked about it in the Creative Business Accelerator. But yes, and if you took the Focus Blueprint, if you purchased the Focus Blueprint, you will know that you can just record it on your phone so that you can listen back, or you can do certain things with it so that you can get something from it. But that's in the Focus. That's broken down in Focus. So I want this lifetime course. You can go on there. You can set it up for Sezzle. You can always switch over to lifetime, because even if, depending on if, let's say, I know a firm will let you break it up over the course of a year. So that would be like 1,000, I think it's 1,365 divided by 12. So if a firm allows you to do 12 months, it'll be probably somewhere around $85-$90 per month, like doing it over like 12 months if you use a firm. If the other ones don't allow you to do that, and let's say it only allows you to do like 3 to 6 months divided by 6 months, you're going to pay $168.94 a month. If it does just 4 payments, each payment will be $253.49. You can always change over to lifetime afterwards. But if you are able to get, if you don't want to do it reoccurring, right? And you just want to do it month to month, you want to be there for that first month, that will be 103.65. Oh, wait, I did that wrong. 103.65. So for a little under like the reoccurring one, because if you set the reoccurring one and you forget to turn it off, it's going to charge you every single month. But if you want to just try it out for a month with the 10% for that 1 month, you will pay $93.28, and you will get access to this like the first month. And at that price point, you could still use Klarna, Affirm. Klarna and Afterpay. Affirm, I don't think it will do it at the 100, at the $90. It might, but you can definitely do Klarna or Afterpay. And just do the 1 month if you want that information. If you know that you need information on structuring your business and understanding your LLC and S Corp and taxes and all those things, then just sign up for the month. That first link, or just go to 365 Creative Academy, search Creative Business, and then sign up for that. Okay. All right, y'all. I gotta go because I'm way over, and I need to get finish my work on all of my zip learning stuff. So thank you guys so very much. I didn't realize this was still going at the bottom of this screen. Thank you guys so very much for being a part of my social experiment. It's the only thing I can think of, because it's not really a social experiment, but it's, being a part and listening to something I need for a training module. Until next time, though, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity, be incredible, and hopefully I will see you in the room tonight at 7:30, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.